What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is Fresh Comic Stories, where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Now today, we're going to begin our coverage over the Shadowland event. This was a huge event that Marvel did back in 2010 when Marvel realized that they never gave Daredevil, his own event, his own big time event in Marvel Comics. So Marvel sat down and made Shadowland and said, what would happen if Daredevil had joined the Hand, the evil ninja organization? Well, in the very first issue, we learned that this man has done a lot to Hell's Kitchen, but the biggest moment in this book is at the very end, when this man kills off his worst enemy, Bullseye. And that is what is going to begin the Shadowland event. So I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video, but here we go, Shadowland number 1. So with the first chapter of Shadowland, we pick up in, I'm going to mispronounce this, Jigokuchu Castle, where we pick up with the ancient sanctum of the Hand. You have 3 members of the Hand who speak about how they are slowly corrupting Daredevil, that he has returned back to his throne, which is Shadowland, except they state that Daredevil must corrupt himself to complete the transformation. We then pick up in New York, but pick up with Bullseye, who is being transported to prison. Something to point out is that this is after Dark Reign, which is important to mention since Bullseye was in the Dark Avengers. When Norman Osborn took over S.H.I.E.L.D. and replaced it with his own government organization called Hammer, after that Norman Osborn made Hammer. Well, he formed his own Avengers team, the Dark Avengers. When he asked villains to pretend to be different heroes, Bullseye pretended to be Hawkeye. Makes sense with the idea of both of them being great marksmen. After all of that, well, the real Avengers came back. S.H.I.E.L.D. came back as well, and that means everyone had to go back to prison. So, we see Bullseye being transported back to prison, but of course, he tricks the guards like he is dying. Then he kills all of the guards who were transporting him. That then leads into him saying that he should go see his old pal Daredevil in his new land, which is called Shadowland. We finally get a look of Shadowland, which used to be Hell's Kitchen, but it is not called that anymore. Also, we see that in the middle of Shadowland, we see the Shadowland Fortress and some of the characters who are going to be involved in this event. Kingpin, Moon Knight, Punisher, and Spider-Man. Of course, all of these characters have close connections to Daredevil, so it will make sense that they will be there in this big event for Marvel, and there are some other characters as well. Then we pick up with some of the Avengers team. Iron Man, Thor, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the last person is Captain America. Except this is not Steve Rogers. This is Bucky Barnes, who is known as the Winter Soldier. With the aftermath of Civil War, Steve Rogers had died and Bucky Barnes had become Captain America. Now Steve Rogers is around, so there were 2 Captain Americas, I think around this time period of Marvel Comics, but Bucky is the one we see in this story. Either way, you have them talking about Shadowland and how messed up it is, and also that people are disappearing. This is the funny moment. You have Iron Man tell Luke Cage and Iron Fist to go talk to Daredevil and tell him to cut it out, to really get rid of Shadowland. They will give him some time to do it, and you have Luke Cage and Iron Fist ask, what if Daredevil says no? Well, Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America stand tall together to show if these 3 have to step in, they will beat down on Daredevil and Shadowland very easily. This was Marvel saying, no, your powerful Avenger characters will not be in this event at all. Back to Shadowland, we see that Bullseye has arrived at Shadowland and has begun the process of killing some ninjas who are part of the Hand. who of course are under Daredevil control. With those deaths, that makes Daredevil come out of nowhere and tells the Hand members to get Bullseye. We can see here with the way Daredevil looks now, he's wearing an all black outfit with the wording in red and other outlines in red too. While you have Daredevil and the Hand trying to capture Bullseye, while Luke Cage and Iron Fist were watching and wondering if they should step in. There is another page where they do confront Daredevil, while Daredevil lets his ninjas chase after Bullseye. You have Iron Fist and Luke Cage asking Daredevil what in the world is going on here in Hell's Kitchen. He has to stop, get rid of Shadowland, except Daredevil says no and wonders if they will join his cause. Of course, they also say no. He tells them that this is the only time he is going to say this. Stay out of his way. The chase down for Bullseye leads to Japtis Convention Center, a very interesting name, but the fight is to show that the Hand Ninjas do not stand a chance against Bullseye, and Bullseye is killing them left and right, except this is the perfect setup for what is about to come and what is going to make everyone think about stepping in to stop Daredevil. The last 4 pages shows Daredevil jumping into the fight, which is him getting tired of Bullseye, where you do have Bullseye continue to talk trash towards Daredevil, making fun of him and trying to kill him as well. Daredevil is not having it anymore, where you have Daredevil break one of the arms of Bullseye, which of course shocks Bullseye to see Daredevil do that, except Daredevil is not done yet. He then goes on to break the other arm of Bullseye. So now both arms are broken, but this is not what makes everyone freak out across the Marvel Universe, except it is when you have Daredevil actually stab Bullseye right in the chest, which of course kills Bullseye and leads us into the rest of the Shadowland event. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please guys, hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video.